Good morning everyone, welcome back to another day in the life of a full-time game developer. My name is Garnet and I am working full-time at Tin Man Games, working on Neon Squad Tactics, an upcoming turn-based XCOM for the Oculus Quest 2 and 3. To kick this week off, we have been working with a quality assurance team in the UK, and overnight they logged a handful of things that they've flagged in the game. So my team have just gotten out of our morning stand-up and handed out the tasks. There were 6 major points that were brought up and I was given 3 of the tasks. Now we'll be working with this QA team for about 2 months, and the way that it works is every day they're testing and flagging things that they notice, and each week we provide a new updated build for them that addresses these issues. So I'll quickly go over the tasks that I was given today. First off, they found that you can grab, not use, abilities that are on a cooldown. So think like a grenade or something where you only have limited uses of them, but they still exist in our loadout. When you do try to use them, they found that it drops the frame rate drastically, and after talking to one of the other engineers on the team, we're pretty confident that it's just an update loop that is accidentally being called or overridden, so I'll be looking into that first thing this morning. Now the next thing is that they found that the mission selects aren't always responding, and unfortunately this one seems a bit weirder as we've never encountered anything like it before, but fortunately this team have provided some repro steps so that we can try and replicate it either in the editor or the headset and get it fixed. And my final task for the day will be updating the controls. Now this is just a requirement for games in the Quest so that certain games use controls that adhere to the conventions. Think WASD for the keyboard being replaced as YGHJ instead. It's a bit immersion breaking, so we want to ensure that our players are able to easily understand and pick up the controls of this game. Let's jump into task 1. Alright, so that took way longer than expected. Now the thing is it was as straightforward as we thought, but the instance of the ability that it was using was completely independent of the actual ability being used. So to break that down, what I mean is all the abilities exist in the game's mind somewhere, and when we reference the ability to actually use it, we reference it from the raw file rather than the entities file. So I had to create a check that basically overrides the ability instance for when you're trying to use it, and whether it's usable or not will set the new value. And if it's not, then it'll just set it to null. So after getting a bit derailed there, I got called into a meeting by the game designer from a few issues that he had run into. And that meeting went on for the better part of an hour, and he's left me with pretty good tasks to delve into. But before I start looking into all of that, it's about time I get some lunch. And of course that means tuna and rice. Again. Today's choice of media consumption while I eat my lunch is the new Fallout series, and I am a huge Fallout fan and I've been loving this series so far. If you guys have been watching it at all, let me know your thoughts down in the comments too. Alright, cracking back into it, the second task on the list, which was to do with the missions not being selected correctly, I actually think this is something that I fixed last week, so I don't necessarily think that this is going to be an issue. But of course I'm going to do a bit of testing over the coming days to ensure that it doesn't creep up again. On that note, this new issue that has been brought up has to do with mission loading. For some reason, and we're still trying to determine exactly the cause, but the first time you load a mission, it loads the data from an incorrect source. But the second time it loads it correctly. This incorrect source isn't completely wrong, like it doesn't load in the wrong characters or map or anything, but the actual values of the characters may be incorrect. So some characters could have the wrong health value given to them or something like that. So I'm going to be digging through the level files, map files, whatever I can to try and find out exactly what's going on here. Immediately I went into the map creator, and it looks like from maybe what I can tell that there was some kind of corruption in the level files. I went into the level creator, hit save on it, and it actually overrode the level files with the correct ones, so I'm not entirely sure what to make of that, but for now it seems the fix will be to just go through each level and ensure that the level files are saved correctly. I've let the game designer know what I've done, and since I still have a few things left to fix, I don't have time personally to test them, so I've asked them to quickly test the levels themselves, make sure everything's running smoothly, and that I haven't completely destroyed everything. Alright, we are down to our last task for the day, which is updating the controls. Now, I never set up the controls myself, I've never looked at them, I don't even know where they're set, but I'm hoping that it's going to be something as simple as changing a single value somewhere, but knowing the depth of this project, anything can happen. If it wasn't clear from my reaction, I think it ended up actually being as straightforward as I thought. But to test it, I will have to make a build for the headset, and that seems like a tomorrow problem. Anyway, that wraps up another day of development. Thanks as always for coming along for the ride. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more, subscribe the hit button, like this video, and leave a comment down below. If you haven't already, to stay up to date with my exciting life, jump into the Garnet Discord where I post early clips of development, things I'm working on, and places I'm at. The link will be in the description of this video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon.